Friday, 29 April, The Gap News This Morning, podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. Penang to ban use of condos as homestays, says a state exco. Economy still strong, Bank Negara assures amid weak ringgit worries. New 1,500 ringgit minimum wage order gazetted. NPRA bans 3 cosmetic products containing scheduled poison, including mercury. Ukraine war, blast hits Kyiv as UN chief visits President Zelensky. Singapore court rejects AG's bid to proceed with Dakshinamurti's execution. And Malaysia can end decade-long wait for SEA Games gold in football, says Faisal Azumu. And now the news in full. Penang is looking to impose a ban on short-term rentals of private condominiums and high-rise apartments in a bid to bolster the state's hotel industry battered by the COVID-19 pandemic, a state executive councillor said Thursday. Local government and housing exco Jagdeep Singh Adeo said the local authorities are in the midst of finalizing new guidelines on the matter, which will specifically prohibit short-term rentals at private high-rise residences. We do not want a situation where it will disturb the well-being of other residents. People do not want their house to become a hotel. That's the simple reasoning behind the guideline, he said after handing out aid to Penang Island City Council staff in conjunction with the coming Hari Raya Idul Fitri celebrations. Jagdeep said the local authorities will present the proposed guidelines to the state exco for approval, adding that it will not affect medium-term rentals that stretch over several months. Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM, has dismissed concerns that the depreciation of the ringgit is a telltale sign that Malaysia will have trouble settling its external debts, as is the case with some countries. Let me stress that Malaysia is nowhere near that position, BNM Governor Nur Shamsia Muhammad Yunus told Bernama. Nur Shamsia said Malaysia was expected to record a current accounts surplus exceeding 75 billion ringgit in 2022. It was also exporting more than it was importing, which meant there was more inflow than outflow of foreign currency, she added. The new minimum wage of 1,500 ringgit a month, effective May 1st, was officially gazetted Wednesday. The minimum wages order, issued by the Human Resource Minister M. Saravanan, was published in the Federal Government Gazette and uploaded on the official website of the Attorney General's Chambers Thursday. According to the Gazette, under paragraph 4, subsection 1, an employee who is not paid basic wages but based on piece rate, tonnage, task, trip or commission, the monthly wage rate payable to the employee with effect from May 1st shall not be less than 1,500 ringgit. For 6 working days, the employee should be paid 57 ringgit 69 cent a day, 69 ringgit 23 cent a day for 5 working days, and 86 ringgit 54 cent a day for working 4 days, equivalent to an hourly rate of 7 ringgit 21 cent. The Health Ministry's National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, NPRA, has urged the public to refrain from buying and using 3 cosmetic products that have been found to contain scheduled poison. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the products are Putri Ratu Treatment Cream and Flash Treatment Cream, both of which contain mercury, and Flash Night Cream, which contains hydroquinone. Following that, the products' notifications have been cancelled and they are no longer allowed to be sold in Malaysia, he said in a statement. He advised members of the public who have been using the products to immediately stop and seek advice from health professionals if they experience any discomfort or adverse effects. Dr. Noor Hisham said mercury can be absorbed into the body and cause damage to the kidneys and nervous system, as well as disrupt brain development of young or unborn children, besides causing rashes, irritation, and other changes to the skin. Ukraine war. Russian strikes have hit Kyiv, officials say, as UN Chief Antonio Guterres is in the city for talks with President Volodymyr Zelensky. The explosions injured a number of people, emergency services say. Guterres has criticized the UN's Security Council for failing to prevent or end the war, calling it a source of great frustration. President Biden is asking Congress to approve a record $33 billion aid package for Ukraine, including more arms. Biden also warns Moscow against making idle nuclear threats and says the country is using its gas supplies to blackmail Europe. A British national has been killed in Ukraine and a second is missing, the UK's Foreign Office has said. Any country trying to intervene in the Ukraine war will face a lightning-fast response, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned. With all the tools no one can boast of, we will use them if necessary, he said, in what is seen as a reference to ballistic missiles and nuclear arms. Ukraine's allies have stepped up the supply of weapons, with the US vowing to make sure Ukraine defeats Russia. In another development, the European Commission has accused Russia of blackmail after Moscow cut off gas exports to Poland and Bulgaria. The Commission's President Ursula von der Leyen said it showed Russia's unreliability as a supplier. Gazprom's cutoff follows Poland and Bulgaria's refusal to pay for gas in Russian rubles, a demand made by President Putin in March, which was designed to shore up the faltering currency battered by Western sanctions. Singapore's Court of Appeal on Thursday dismissed an appeal by the city-state's Attorney General to overturn the decision by a lower court to grant a stay of Malaysian Dakshinamurti Qatar's death sentence, according to legal rights group Lawyers for Liberty. Dakshinamurti was scheduled to be executed by hanging at dawn on Friday, but was granted a reprieve earlier yesterday when the Singapore High Court issued a stay order, while he awaits for the hearing of his prison correspondent's misconduct legal challenge on May 20th. However, Singapore's Attorney General had rushed an appeal at the appellate court in a bid to overturn the ruling and get the execution back on track, LFL said on Twitter. The Court of Appeal ruled in favor of Dakshinamurti, who was unrepresented. And now for some sports news. The national under-23 squad have the potential to end a decade-long wait to win the gold medal in the men's football event at the SEA Games in Hanoi next month, said Youth and Sports Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Faisal Azumu. Faisal believes the national team have a good selection of players who can bring home the gold. Meanwhile, Malaysia's chef de mission to the Games, Datuk Nur Azmi Ahmad, said he hoped to see the national team under the guidance of head coach Brad Maloney achieve excellent results in Vietnam because football is one of the top sports in the country. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. Penang to ban the use of condos as homestays, says State Exco. Economy still strong, Bank Negara assures amid weak ringgit worries. New 1,500 ringgit minimum wage order gazetted. And PRA bans 3 cosmetic products containing scheduled poison, including mercury. Ukraine war, blast hits Kiev as UN chief visits President Zelensky. Singapore court rejects AG's bid to proceed with Dakshinamurti's execution. And Malaysia can end decade-long wait for SEA Games gold in football, says Faisal Azumu. This has been the Gap News this morning, Friday, 29 April, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali.